And this one comes from an anonymous source, and it spoke to my heart. Sometimes they just do that. They give me the chills. This one says, don't let the things you want make you forget the things you already have. Don't let the things you want make you forget the things you already have. Someone, something, somewhere may come to mind. And you have it today, currently. And years ago, a couple weeks or months ago, it might have been something that you were praying and hoping and wishing for. So don't let those things that you want in the future, or you're achieving, or a goal, it's something you've been working hard at, don't let that steal the joy from all of the things that you have right now. So I thought that was a nice way to start our week together, the week of love. And by the way, Thursday, if you wear red to class, you get an extra scratch and sniff sticker. I'll send it through the mail. I've just got to go buy them. So just a reminder. I might show up in red. I hope I don't forget. Remember that around Christmas time, those of you who are coming online, oh boy, always something. But hey, like I said, and I'll say it again, thank goodness I'm not getting judged on being perfect. Hey, all right, friends, let's get to this. We are going to come right to our yoga mat. And I am feeling the need to get into our bodies today. I've had a lot of conversations with you recently, and I don't know what it is, if it's just a me thing or a couple of us, the knees, the shoulders, joint pain, right? We're going to get into it all today. We'll do a lot of mobility, a lot of flow, and that does not mean anything that you need to be nervous about, I promise. All right, friends, with that, standing, feet about hips distance, spread your toes wide. Would you grip your mat with your toes, just like we do with our fingers? And we're going to inhale, lift your heels, stretch the arms up and overhead. Breathe, 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 and a big sigh out. Release and lower. Good. Inhale, take it all in, all the goodness, all of life's gratitude that we have today. And a big sigh. Release it all out. Good. Cleansing breaths. Inhale. Reach up, lift the heels, reach for the stars, and exhale. Let it all go. 3 more. Inhale, circle the arms, lift the heels, reach and stretch, and a big breath out. You'll hear my sighs. I'm taking natural breaths for this one. Inhale, reach it up. I figured I'll sigh loud enough for all of us since some of you are muted. Exhale. Really let it out. Excellent. And 2 more? I don't know. Inhale, reach it up. Breath out. Really let it go. And let me hear you through those mute features. Inhale, reach it up. We're going to hold briefly at the top. In, and hold. Big release. Yeah. Feeling good, friends. Inhale, interlace your fingers behind your back. Can you take your feet the width of your mat for me? Now, we're just going to start with a nice swivel of the hips, squeezing of the shoulder blades, and almost feel like your knuckles are dragging along your sit bones as we just get into the shoulders and as we get into the hips simultaneously. Now, on your next inhalation, lift your heart to the sky, slowly lift your gaze, and then exhale, start to hinge forward. You can reach your knuckles to the back wall. You can also take it all the way up and overhead. Just feel the stretch, breathe into your back body. And then inhale, slowly but surely come all the way up, tone the belly. Reach for your heels, engage your glutes, and release your arms. Take a moment, just let the arms hang at your sides. Really nice. Hands to the hips. Keep your feet wide. Keep your knees soft. Breathing as you find your pelvic region. Good morning, pelvis. Now, if you're just getting started, if it's early where you are, I feel like the earlier it is, the more that equates. Whatever day of the week your body might think it's a Monday, okay? In case of the Mondays. Go ahead and switch the rotation to the other direction. And oh yeah, it's feeling good. I woke up this morning feeling like it was a Thursday morning. I teach classes Tuesdays and Thursday mornings earlier than our class. This is also a virtual class. And I told that group, I said, boy, it feels like a Thursday, which we always call it Friday Eve, right? Go figure. Go ahead and take your hips side to side. I told them all, I said, I'm going to bottle up that moment and keep it like that and remind my body every other time it feels like it's a Monday. Hey, It's a Thursday morning, right? Later in the week, I seem to feel more tired, but somehow, some way, we always get it done, right? Come back to center. Now, engage your inner thighs. Pull your yoga mat apart with your feet. Do you feel the glutes, the hammies turning on? Keep that level of activation. And then inhale, circle the arms tall. Keep pulling the feet apart. Exhale, hinge forward. Keep your legs active. And then come into that wide-legged forward fold. And then take ragdoll arms. So catching opposite elbow, if that feels good, you could even find a swaying of the body, nice fluid movement, moving to the rhythm of your Ujjayi breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And toning your belly, really allow your elbows to hang heavy. Now, if this doesn't feel good for whatever reason, you could always place your hand on blocks and you can utilize those props at any time to support your practice, just depending on how your body is feeling today. Now, on your next inhalation, release your arms, start to slowly come all the way up, nice flat back. Now, create the action of pulling your yoga mat apart with the feet as we extend the arms tall. And then exhale, goalpost the arms. I guess I should say cactus. We just had the Super Bowl. What a boring Super Bowl, by the way. Lift the heart. Exhale, lower down. I couldn't even pay attention to the commercials this year. I almost was nodding off. I told my husband, don't tell anybody. Inhale, reach your hands all the way up to the sky. And now exhale your left hand down to your thigh, and then just slide your left hand down. Reach your right arm up and over. Good morning, right side body. Inhale, come all the way back up. Let your palms kiss at the top. And then exhale, right arm comes down. Slowly lower down the leg and find that stretch, left side body. Wonderful. Inhale, come all the way up. Are you keeping that activity through the legs of pulling the yoga mat apart? I hope so. Exhale, left hand down. Reach it over. Stretch your right waist. And then inhale all the way back up, palms kiss at the top. And exhale, right hand down and find your stretch. Find your breath. Looking so strong today, friends. Wonderful. Inhale, come all the way back up. Keep the activity through the legs. Interlace your fingers and press your palms to the sky. Good. Now engage your glutes, engage your hamstrings, your quads, and your abdominals. Draw a big circle with the heels of your hands on your ceiling. Doesn't need to be big. I want you to feel this stretch through your midsection. Really nice. Doesn't matter what direction you're moving. We're going to change it up. Give me one more rotation. Feel the activity through the low body. It should be on fire. Change directions when you're ready. Inhaling and exhaling through one rotation, through two rotations, and through three rotations. Beautifully done. Back to center. Exhale, release the arms, hinge at your hips, come back to forward fold. And you guessed it, ragdoll arms. Now, whatever way you grasped the first time, touch the opposite direction. So just keeping our body nice and neutral. Start to find the rhythm of your breath, really tuning in to the low body, really tuning into the breath. Let your shoulders crowd the ears this time. Usually you'll hear me say to engage the shoulder blades. So just really let gravity do all the work at this moment. Finding center, take a deep inhale, really allow the body to fill up completely, holding the prana in at the top. And a big sigh, release your arms, let them hang in space. Inhale, Ardha, halfway lift, fingertips to the mat or block. And then exhale, back to forward fold. This time, inhale, reach wide with the arms. Come all the way up, flat back. Feel the low body engaging. Palms will meet at the top. Exhale, cactus the arms. Notice my change from football season. Seasons have changed. And then exhale, hands down to your sides. Really nice, soft through the knees. Once again, we're coming into that slow motion hula hoop rotation. I'm telling you, one day I'm going to find a way to throw out some virtual hula hoops your way. I want to see everybody's skill set. We might change it up to hooping. instead of yoga, just once. All right, go ahead and switch directions. Ask me where these ideas come from. I still don't know. Anything for a giggle. Hey, that's just me. I enjoy having a giggle during our time to work out. Why not? Life is too short, right? And then back from side to side. So just checking in. Think of this today as just taking the temperature of your body. You may find some of our postures repetitive. And again, there's always a method to our madness. I've changed it from my madness to our madness because y'all are just like me. I know it. I never want to take full responsibility for safety in numbers. All right, come back to center and bring your big toes to touch. Come all the way toward the front of your mat. And then just standing, palms facing forward, come into traditional Tadasana. There's a tongue twister for you. Traditional Tadasana. Say that 3 times fast. Just kidding. Inhale, circle your arms up all the way to the sky. And then friends, exhale, hinging forward, bend your knees as much or as little as you'd like. Inhale, or to halfway lift, slide your hand up your shin. And then exhale, plant your palms, step back, find your plank pose. Breathing in plank, stay for a few breaths, nice straight body, active legs. Good, now push the floor away. Feel the serratus anterior. That is this lower region, if you want to think of it as the bottom of the underarm region. And I want you to push the floor away, really engage the back side of the body here. A lot of times we don't think about this in plank. And now lower your knees to the mat. Exhale, slow chaturanga, hug the elbows into the ribs. And then inhale, come right into cobra. Beautiful. And then exhale, down dog. So press your sit bones up and back. And I want you to really think about walking your dog, but do so with intention today. So again, often we find similar patterns of movement in our yoga class, which means we're on autopilot, and that's okay. Today, let's really focus on the details of these familiar movements. So paddling one heel at a time. Notice how the weight distribution changes when the right heel's down, the left palm takes a lot of the weight, and vice versa. Just notice how that feels. Go ahead and work towards straightening both legs. And now press your yoga mat away from you. Bring your attention back to that serratus anterior, which is on the back side of the body. Think of the very lowest point of the underarm region. And that is what we're activating right now. Beautiful. Inhale. Lower your knees down to the mat, coming right into table pose. Now on your inhalation, arch your spine. So really lengthen. Instead of just arching, I want you to think about pulling your heart forward through your biceps. Your gaze will eventually lift. And then exhale, round through the spine. Once again, notice my repetitive cue. Press the floor away. Really noticing that serratus anterior region of the body. Inhale, come back to cow shape. Pull the heart forward, then up. And then exhale, round through the spine, press the floor away, focusing on that lower underarm region. Inhale one more time, come right back into your cow shape. And now in your cow shape, keep your Ujjayi breath flowing, pull your heart through a little bit more, engage your palms into the mat and pull your hands toward your knees. Notice how that activates the front body a little deeper. And then exhale, round through the spine, press the floor away, chin to chest for cat. Excellent, my friends. Come back into table pose. If you need a break, shake your wrists out. We're gonna just do a little bit of wrist work, starting with that external rotation. So externally rotate, fingers to face the knees. Thumbs are on the outer edges toward the outer edges of the mat. And stack your shoulders once again over the palms. Now take a moment and grip the mat with all 10 fingers. Inhale, drift your heart forward. And then exhale, sit toward your heels, keeping the heels of your hands on the mat. You might not need to go far for this one to get your stretch. Inhaling, heart forward. Exhaling, sitting toward your heels. Some of us like to tuck our toes for this one. That's fine. Sometimes I like more support. Sometimes I want a little less. So again, that's just dependent upon what your body is calling for today. Breathe into your wrist extension. Breathe all the way from the fingertips through the knuckles of the fingers, the palm, tracing all the way up through the elbow joints. Really nice, intentional movement. Looking strong today, my friends. All right, take a moment, sit to your heels, relax your palms on your thighs, slow massage. I feel that we just need all massage therapists to just come over to our homes right now and just offer a free massage, maybe at 11:30 a.m. local time, of course, because at that point I'll be ready for one, right? Why not? I'm living in a dreamland and it sounds really good. You should come on over. All right, shake it out. Come back in a table pose and then just wiggle any parts of the body that just need to be rejuvenated, neutralized. And we're going to flip one palm to the sky at a time, or you're going to do both. You know how this works. So fingertips are going to face the knees. And again, you might find your elbows bent, channel your inner bulldog. That's okay. We're going to work our arms towards straight, spin the eyes of the elbows forward if that's feeling good for you. And we're going to start that. Inhale, drift the heart forward. Exhale, sit toward your heels. So we're just moving nice and slowly today. Notice your 10 fingertips and those thumb fingernails want to float. Press them into the earth. Those little details are what we're after today. Breathe into the front of the hand. Breathe into the top of the wrist and the top of your forearms. And notice any varying sensations, perhaps from one side to the other. If you haven't switched, now's a great time for those of you doing one at a time. And then take it into rotation. So with your heart, you're going to draw a nice big circle around your palm, or palms if you're doing both, and then eventually change directions of your rotation. And then we're going to have a nice break for the fingers, for the wrist, and the forearms. When you're ready, sit back to your heels. Oh, I'm sorry I had to do it. I feel now it feels like a Monday morning, right? I see those smiles and I appreciate that. I think right now, unless you all are opera singers, I'm secretly happy that it's muted, okay? I know when to control my opera. I saw some of you. Interlace your fingers, friends, nice and loose. Just roll the wrist. Take your time. Remember those sensations in the joints. We talked about the joints. I mentioned them a little earlier. Today is about getting into those joints. Think of this as lubrication. Let's create some waves. Yeah, I don't need to be on the islands in order to create waves. Okay, I got my own right here in the desert. Go ahead and change directions. My husband and I were talking about that, how we went from one climate of moisture and an abundance of rain and water everywhere you turn, and somehow, some way, we are not in an abundance of water. I don't even know the last time it rained. Maybe once this year, meaning like in the last calendar year, maybe. Shake it out. That's all right. We're making the best of it. I love the sunshine in both places. I've had sunshine, so can't complain, right? Just got to make the best of it. Thank goodness for air conditioning and heating. All right, friends, fingertips facing the outer edges of your mat. So your thumbs are going to face forward. And now we're just going to start to sway from side to side. As you sway the body side to side, really, once again, think of the serratus anterior. This is where we push the floor away and feel as though you're pushing all the way through that lower portion of the underarm. And that's where I really want you to focus the attention. Breathe into the joints, breathe into the knuckles of the fingers. Excellent, excellent. This was our last hand placement. All right, back to sitting on the heels. And I promise we're getting off the knees right now. On your inhale, come up tall. Step your right foot forward. And right now, I just want you, for old time's sake, let's do an old school Anjaneyasana. Press your hips down and forward. I just want you to get into that hip capsule of the left side body. You can also right now, if you'd like to use your blocks, you can grab your blocks, use them on either side if you'd like, or you could use one. And this is just going to help us to move. So we're going to start getting into the right knee joint just a bit. We're working on creating space. We're working on the right hip. And I want you to feel good. Now, if you don't want to use blocks, it'll look more like this, and that's okay. Sometimes, though, friends, even though I can do this, I like a little more space, and the blocks give me that. So, this is just about getting into the knee joint. Think about your breath as medicine, as lubrication, right? Just getting into the right ankle, getting into the right knee, and exaggerate this movement. Very often in our modern day Anjaneyasana, we stop here, but notice I can go from here to here, really pressing it forward. Right shin to the wall in front of you. That's right. You might hold it, you might make it more dynamic. And I just want you to feel into that left hip flexor. Really nice. Good. Now, on your next breath, lift out of your shoulder girdles and come through the crown of the head all the way up. Now, you'll notice I could be here or I could be active. So, fingertips to blocks or floor. Good. And now, exhale, flex your right foot. Place your hands either on blocks or a mat, and then stretch into that right hamstring. Really nice. Some of you might even slide your blocks back to stack under the shoulders. And then be playful here. Relax your right foot. And then when you're ready, activate. So you can even see my little footsie up here, relaxing and activating on the inhale. Exhale, relax. Inhale, activate. Notice how this feels, not just in the Achilles, not just in the calf, but in the hamstring as well. Notice how everything is connected. The fascia on the sole of the foot getting a nice stretch. And then inhale, come all the way back forward, friends. Bring your blocks or just hands to the mat and step left foot up to meet the right. Halfway lift. Inhale here. Good. Exhale, forward fold. I'm going to keep my hands on blocks. It's feeling good. I need a little assistance from my knees today. And then press off the blocks or floor. Come all the way up. Inhale, reach your palms. Exhale, cactus shape your arms. Lift through the chest, get a nice chest stretch, and exhale, hands to sides. Really nice. Inhale, circle your arms up once again. Exhale, forward fold. Now you can add in your chaturangas at any time. Otherwise, inhale, halfway lift. I'm going to keep my hands on blocks, or you can slide your hands up your shins. Left foot stays front. Step your right foot back, and right knee comes down. We're going to come into that second side. Now, as you start to move forward and back, we're going to do the same thing. So feel free to get into your modern day Anjaneyasana where we stop here. Eventually, though, friends, you can watch my transition come forward. Look at the difference from here to here. So really getting into that right hip capsule. Now, as you work that right side, I am going to let a friend in. I promise I'm not leaving you here. I told you people had issues with technology today. It looks like it might be working for everybody now. I always hate that when somebody has to miss class because of technology, right? Irks me. All right. So again, with your blocks or without, feel yourself getting into that right hip flexor. Feel yourself getting into the left knee, the left ankle. Press yourself forward, come up all the way high. Imagine again coming out of the shoulder girdles, lift the crown of the head. If you're using blocks, my fingertips are on blocks. I'm up working so tall. And then slowly lower your hands to mat or blocks, flex your left foot, and then just transition back. Think about sitting on your right heel or just working into that hamstring stretch. Now we're on the second side. Remember, you can slide your blocks back to stack under the shoulders, breathing into what needs space, relaxing the foot. And again, remember my little joke, my little footsie on my inhale, flex. On my exhale, relax. Notice how one side is responding to the other. Think about your joints, your ankle, your knee, the knuckles of your fingers and toes, your hip, and then slide back forward, friends. Come into your Anjaneyasana. You can keep your hands to blocks or the mat. Tuck your right toes. Send your right heel back. Float the knee and simple step forward. Right foot meets left. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale, forward fold. You can keep your hands on blocks if you're using them, and then press off the blocks. Inhale, tall. Come all the way up. Exhale, cactus your arms. And slowly lower your hands to your sides. Really nice. Hopefully, you're feeling a little bit more open as we move through today's unconventional practice in our joint focus. Inhale, lift your heels, lift your hands. This might look familiar. We did this earlier today. Now, stay on the balls of your feet, friends. Exhale, Utkatasana. Sweep your arms back like your fingertips are reaching for the wall behind you. Squeeze your shoulder blades, broaden your heart space. Exhale, heels down. Lift the toes, lift your hands. Think about creating a beautiful masterpiece like your hands were paintbrushes. Stay low, keep your right foot rooted, step your left foot back, sweep the arms back, crescent lunge. Really nice, beautiful. Inhale, come back, left foot meets right, Utkatasana, hands to the sky. Beautiful, inhale, step right foot back. Crescent lunge, beautiful. I know my legs. Inhale, lift, right foot meets left. Inhale, stand tall, Tadasana. You can do this. Inhale, circle the arms, lift your right knee hip height, or you could press your toes into the block. Exhale, step back, crescent lunge. Airplane your arms as you move, beautiful. Inhale, right knee comes back up, lift the arms. Exhale, Tadasana. Beautiful. Inhale, left side. Exhale, step back, crescent. Sweep the arms. Inhale, lift. Exhale, Tadasana. Beautiful. Feet hips distance. Inhale, circle the arms, lift the heels, check in with your balance. Stay on the toes. Exhale, Utkatasana. Sweep the arms back. You've got this. Lower the heels, lift the hands. Lifting up to Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Really nice, friends. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to plank pose. Meet me in down dog, take a vinyasa, or just exhale there. Really is going to be dependent upon what you need in your body today. From down dog, remember, table is always an option. Inhale the right heel to the sky. Exhale, stack your right hip over the left. Open your hips toward the right wall and bend through your right knee. Heel will come toward the sit bones, stretching the right body. Breathe into your knee joint. Breathe into your right hip. Inhale back to three-legged dog, same side. Come into pigeon pose. Right knee behind the right wrist. Left wrist has the ankle behind. Good. Now remember your options. If you have your blocks nearby, you can place your block on the lowest setting under your right glute. Always reminding you of options. And now we're going to do today another old school pigeon pose. What I mean by that, find sleeping pigeon. Let your body be heavy. You can come all the way down. You can use blocks. Your head can rest on a block. Your forearms can rest on a block. Now I'm going to give you some time in this posture. Let your autopilot take over if that feels good. Breathing into your right hip, right glute. Checking in with your body. Giving your body exactly what it needs through the breath. Pressing up to proud pigeon. Palms will stack under your shoulders. And you'll tuck your left toes, step back gently into down dog. And then take some time, friends, walk your dog. Really focusing on sending one heel to the mat at a time. Notice your right knee joint, breathing that breath of vitality, a breath of compassion into your knee joint today. And then lifting your right heel, soft through the knee, start to roll the ankle. So just coming, and I'll show you on my other side so you can see what I'm doing with my foot. I'm just rolling, just getting a little bit more medicine, if you will, lubrication. Think of the breath as medicine, as lubrication for your right knee, for your ankle, and your hip joint. Change directions if you haven't already. And then coming back into down dog. We'll take it into the second side as you're ready. Inhale, left heel high. Exhale, stack your hip and bend your left knee. Heel will come toward the sit bones. Stretching the left side body. Press your belly closer to your right thigh. And then inhale back to three-legged dog and exhale. Pigeon pose. Ankle behind the right wrist. Knee behind the left. Find your setup. Use your props. This is also a great time to use a bolster or a pillow, a blanket, anything under that left sit bone that may feel good. And then you'll often notice your internal critic might already have labeled, this is my good side or the agreeable side, vice versa. Let go of any judgments. Just be kind to your body, softening in for sleeping pigeon. Deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Feel the body softening, just melting into the mat. Breathing a calm, peaceful breath into the left hip, knee, ankle, hamstring, and glute. Keeping your left foot flexed to protect your knee joint to help to create space. And then as you feel ready, pressing back up to proud pigeon. Even if you don't feel like it, join me. I know pigeon, I could lay there forever, right? Tuck your right toes and then just gently step back. Find your favorite variation of down dog and then walk your dog friends, but really slow it down. Feel free to spend 1, 2, maybe even 3 cycles of breath on one side and then the other. Breathing into your wrists, into the knuckles of your fingers and toes as they grip the mat, into your ankles. Bringing your attention to your left knee joint, ankle, and hip. Go ahead and lift your left heel. And then just start to find your rotations. I'm demoing again if you'd like to see what that looks like. Breathe mobility, breathe softness into your joint. Changing directions. And then exhale, knees to the mat. And child's pose. Take some time, let your third eye connect to the earth. If it's too intense, you could always place a block under your third eye. And take your time. We will be using, if you have 2 blocks, ideal. If you have only 1 block, we'll be using 1 or 2 on this next posture. Breathing, so use this time. Gather what you need. Just let your rib cage rest on the legs. Belly is alert. Continuing to tone our internal organs by utilizing the Ujjayi breath in and out of the nose. And then blinking your eyes to open. Coming up to sit on the heels. Now we're going to come into a shoulder opener. This is a great opener for the thoracic spine, the upper and the mid region of the back. So if you're using blocks, I'm going to ask you to place the blocks lowest setting. And they're going to be so that you're about shoulder distance, but mine are a little closer together because I've set them up. And think about if you were to do forearm plank, I want your elbows on the blocks. And then you're going to simply Walk your knees back, bring your palms to prayer, and then bring your heart, bring your underarms down. If your forehead hits the blocks, just readjust them. And if you can, lower your forehead all the way to the mat. Set up your elbows on the blocks, and you'll start to feel a deep stretch for your shoulders, your triceps, your underarms. And the more you can lower and relax your throat and heart chakra closer to the earth, the deeper that stretch. If you don't have blocks, you can still do this with your elbows on a bench, the edge of a seat or chair, but a harder surface that doesn't have much cushion or give. I would not recommend this off a couch, but perhaps the arm of a couch might be best. Breathe into that heart opening sensation. Your palms are together, thumbs are resting between the shoulder blades. 3 more deep, slow Ujjayi breaths here. And as the mind wanders, friends, enjoy that opportunity to invite yourself back. Slowly come out of the posture. Now it's a deep movement, so take your time and then slowly come back to sit on the heels. Woo! Focusing on joints today, those shoulders, how are they? I hope they feel good. Now on your next inhalation, one more time, go ahead and interlace the fingers behind your back. On your next breath, reach your knuckles back and then away from the body. So from the side, it'll look like this. Reach back and then lift the knuckles away from your body. Really feel that stretch. Now lift the gaze. Come high up onto the knees. Squeeze your glutes and press your hips forward. Really focusing on the length from the quad muscles, pubic bone, all the way through your throat. Good. Exhale, come back to neutral. Release. Excellent. The blocks, if you're using them, you may want to place one or both blocks as we come into camel pose. You may want to place your blocks. I like them on the tallest setting, and you might want to set them up between your feet. Maybe one block is suffice. That's going to be your call. And the next thing we're going to do, friends, is tuck our toes under. Tuck your toes, all 10, even the baby toes, if you have to manually. I've got short little baby toes. They don't like to tuck, but I made it. All right, your feet will be tucked for this first one. Palms are going to come to heart center. And what I want you to do is lift your sternum into the thumbs. I'm already starting to press my hips forward and lifting my heart. Keep your gaze to the wall and the ceiling, right where they meet in front of you. Lifting, lifting. And then can you take one hand back to your heel or the block? And then maybe the other. Press your hips forward, lift your heart. Maybe now take your gaze, trace a line on the ceiling, maybe even finding the wall behind you. Press through your toes, come all the way up. Untuck your toes and sit. You're either going to land on your blocks, like I am, or you're going to land on your heels. Breathe. Just take a moment. Breathe. Now we did quite a back bend with the blocks, right? It was heart opening. We did heart opening again. Don't worry, we'll balance this out, I promise. Are you ready to do the next one? This last one is going to go a little deeper. I'm going to move back toward my blocks once again. You can do this by untucking your toes, and that's going to give you a nice option. Lift the heart into the thumbs. Press your hips forward. Keep your glutes engaged. Breathe here, friends. And you might want to repeat what we've already done. Otherwise, one hand back to the block or heel might be a little further of a travel, and then the other. Hips come forward, heart lifts. Can you smile where you're at? Are you breathing? You don't have to smile, but definitely breathe. And then press through the shins, come all the way up. Ooh, really nice. You could remove your blocks now off to the side. You might want to keep them nearby if you want to use them. And then just simply bring your legs around. And we're going to take a wide-legged straddle. You might want to turn sideways on your mat. That's fine by me. Give yourself cushioning under your heels. Start to stretch your inner thighs by just taking your legs wide. Now, if you want a little less, bring your base more narrow. Flex your feet, sit up tall. I'm going to use a block today to demo. Could be the tallest setting, maybe the medium setting. Inhale nice and tall. Feel the stretch here through the hamstrings and through the crown of the head. Inhale tall. Now exhale, hinge forward, nice straight back. Where does the block go? The block can slide forward. I want you to feel supported. You don't have to use the block, but again, it's there. Inhale, slide your block back in. As the block comes back toward your pubic bone, lift tall. Exhale, hinge forward, maybe going a little deeper. Feel the stretch through the back body. Inhale, tall. I want this to be a counter pose for camel, but I also want it to be an active pose. Inhale, pressing forward, nice straight back. Exhale, come up. Inhale, tall here. And exhale, find your deepest expression. Now that block might come out all the way forward. Your forehead might come all the way to rest on the mat. Feel your deepest expression here. Those of you keeping your hands on the block, you're also going to get a nice stretch through the shoulders once again. And then inhale, look forward and slide your block back in. Really nice. The block can stay here. The block can travel with you. We're going to twist your torso toward your left extended leg. Inhale, raise your hands high. Exhale, hinge forward. Notice how this can help your low back. Frame your leg. It can be up here, friends. You can hold your shin. It does not matter to me, but what I want you to do, for those of you that can frame hands on your mat, pull the mat toward you. Let your heart reach beyond your tippy toes. Take a deep breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge a little deeper. Keep your gaze toward your right or left foot, rather. And then inhale, slide your hands back. Come all the way up. Feel that imaginary rope pulling the crown of the head tall. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, reach your hands sky high. Exhale, hinge forward. Now we're stretching the back body, and I want this to feel good in your body. And I want this to be an opportunity to create length and space for the hamstring and the back body. This is a great, what they call in Sanskrit, Pratyakriasana, a counter pose for camel. Inhale, slide your hands back toward your body, come all the way up and relax. Windshield wiper the toes. Really, really great job. Bring your legs to a big diamond shape. We're going to get into the mid-back, those paraspinal muscles just a little more. And if you want support, friends, place your blocks underneath your knees. Inhale, nice and tall. Imagine that rope pulling the crown of the head tall. Exhale, hinge forward. Now, naturally, your back is going to curve a bit in this pose. That's okay. Where do the blocks come in? You can place a block on any height, on top of the feet, behind the heels, or even just laying on top of the feet in the lowest setting. Forehead can rest, shin can rest. Does not matter to me what that looks like. Now, for those of you that are almost there, and I see that there's a couple of you, I want you to think about, instead of looking toward your navel, can you gaze forward, even if that means your chin is on the block? And now lengthen your heart forward. Feel the stretch from the sit bones through the mid-back. Exhale, lower your heart toward the mat. Inhale, lengthen your heart away from your navel another inch. Exhale, hinge a little deeper. Now you keep that pattern going and keep practicing. Your forehead will get down. I can see it right now. Inhale, nice and tall. Relax the arms. Come all the way up. Make this all about the torso and relax. Really nice. Excellent, excellent job. Friends, take your hands behind for support. Heels wide on your mat. And let's windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Woo, this is another moment. If y'all could sing opera, I bet some of you would be. Now we're going to do another seated posture. Now, I know some of you have knee issues, so don't be mad at me. Do what works for your body, okay? Now, I prefaced it, but these types of movements are important for those that don't have knee issues. But please know that it's always okay to try something, but always listen to your body. Now, extending your left leg long, you're going to bend your right knee, and you guessed it, fold it under for Ardha Virasana. I know. Now use your block. And another thing you can do is you can actually sit on your block. I like it on the lowest setting. You'll extend your left leg long and then see if that creates more space to give you that stretch. So that's another option. I personally like to go a little deeper, so I'm going to remove the block. That's me, but that's my body, right? And you have your body. Thank goodness, right? Imagine if we were all in one body. I'd have to reserve it for Saturday night. My husband's taking me on a date. I just made that up. All right, sitting up nice and tall, your left hand is going to press into the mat or block and press the mat away. Feel the stretch. Are you here? And is that deep enough? Stay, if that's you. Now, if you want to go a little deeper, today is the day we're going to take our hands behind and then slowly lower down onto the elbows. Now, if you don't want to do that, that's okay. You can stay on the palms, press your right knee all the while into the mat, and make sure your right toes are facing the back wall. Lift your heart and then stretch your throat. You might even look back to the wall behind you. And this is once again a way to open the front of the body, the chest, the heart, stretching the breath, stretching the throat. Inhale, chin tucks, and then slowly come all the way back up. Release your right leg. See, I didn't even make you go forward, friends. Shake it out, wiggle the toes, circle the ankles, all that feels good. Again, focusing on your joints today. Really notice and medicate the way you need to with your breath. Right leg extends. Inhale, bend your left leg. Remember, you can sit on the block. And then find your foundation. Right hand presses the earth away from you. That helps me to feel more grounded, nice and tall through the spine. And then as you find your breath, hands can come behind like this. I want you to press your knee, left knee, firmly into the earth. Keep your right foot flexed. And then slowly but surely find your deepest expression. Maybe today's the day the head is touching the ground. Maybe you're calling me crazy. That's okay too. Breathe into your left hip, breathe into your left quad. And do you know why we do these poses? Because stretched quads and hips mean healthier knees, my friends. I promise you. Breathe into the regions of the body that need love, that need compassion. And then when you feel ready, gently coming all the way up. I don't know about y'all, but that felt good. It felt necessary in my body. Extend your leg and then shake it out. Give your body some love on that lower half. Now, as you feel ready, we're going to come onto our back. And if you can bring one block with you for the ride, I would love that. Bring a block. I love using a block in back bends. They are so nice. Now, friends, as you find yourself safely with the spine on your back, bring your feet about hips width and take your block on the lowest setting. Inhale, lift your hips and just slide the block. So it's going to be right underneath your pelvic region. And as you lower your hips, you're going to start to feel very quickly if that block may need an adjustment. So adjust if needed. And this should start to feel good. Now, I'm going to give you some options. Option one is you stay as you are. Just let your arms rest at your side. Breathe into your back bend. You'll feel a gentle opening through the hips. Option two goes just a little bit deeper. You can extend your left leg long. Keep your right foot firmly planted into the floor. And then see how that feels. If that feels good on your body. Your final option, going the deepest, is extending both legs at once. Now, if you find out that doesn't work for your body, return to a bent right leg, and then I'll cue you in just a bit when to switch. Those of you with legs straight, relax and enjoy. Breathe into your pelvic region. Powerful Ujjayi breaths to cleanse, to release the hips of anything no longer serving. Go ahead and switch sides for those of you with the right leg bent. Go ahead and bend the left leg and then extend the right. Now, whatever posture you're in, whatever variation, just relax your glutes, soften the belly. Continue to find your breath in through the nose and out through the nose. And then on your next breath, slowly bending one leg at a time, replace your hips on the block if needed. Make sure once again you're feeling supported. And then on your next inhalation, slowly bring the knees to stack over the hips. And I'm up here for a visual if you need it on your screen. And then extend your legs to the sky. And again, allowing your arms to support on either side of the body. If you don't want the block there, that's okay. This is just a restorative variation of legs up the wall. I'm fully aware our legs are not up the wall, but this is a nice variation of Viparita Karani. That block just helps to elevate the pelvis, allows your heart to take a break, not having to circulate and pump the blood to all parts of the body. And you think about how many hours of your day our heart is above the legs. Well, it's nice to take that opposite position for a few moments of our practice. You might just start notice tingling sensation through the legs. This is natural. This is healthy, and this also helps with circulation. So if you have some free time before bed, any day of the week, you can always lie on the floor and put your legs at the wall or in this posture. Slowly bend through the knees. Lower your feet to the mat. And then lift the hips. If the block is still there, go ahead and remove it. And then slowly return your spine to the back. Hug your knees into the chest. And take some time. Massage your low back. Sway your knees from side to side. And extending the feet skyward into happy baby. Hold the arches, ankles, or shins. You can continue to massage your low back as you sway side to side. And eventually taking a straddle, stretching the hamstrings one last time. Take a twist or any other posture you may need or desire for your practice today. Otherwise, when you're ready, inhale, bring the nose to the knees and hug the body in, fully holding the breath slightly at the top of your inhale. With a big sigh, return to your natural breath, extend your limbs long, and take rest in Shavasana. Relax the tongue and the mouth. Softening in, noticing your breath and how it feels to be in your body. Notice whatever's coming up for you right now. And don't let the things you want make you forget the things you already have. And exhaling all the air from the body. deep release, completely emptying out. And then together, taking the longest breath in. Breathe into your joints, fingers, the toes, wrists, ankles, knees, hips, shoulders, neck. Hold your breath in at the top. And a deep sigh to release. Ah. Invite some awareness back to your body, wiggling your toes and fingers, slowly turning the head from side to side. And inhale, reach your arms overhead, stretch your body long. And a big sigh as you hug the knees in one final time. Circle your knees, sway the knees. Breathe into your low body. And then roll comfortably to one side. You could even use your arm as a pillow. Taking another breath of gratitude. And then when you're ready, coming up to a comfortable seat. Dear friends, thank you so much for allowing me to guide your practice today. Thanks for playing with me. I hope you feel more open and ready to receive what's to come. I look forward to seeing you. Wear your red on Thursday for our class of love. Have a great one, friends, and namaste. Thank you so much. Take good care. Great job today. Bye-bye.